Okay, first, let me show you what it takes to grow your money to $1 million or how to save $1 million for your retirement. First of all, let's say we're going to start with zero. So we have no money to start with. We're going to go from zero to $1 million. Now there's some assumptions that we need to take. First of all, how old are you when you start saving for retirement? Well, in the scenario that we're going to use next, I'm going to use a 40-year-old individual, okay? So I'm going to say this person has $0 saved at 40 years old. How much do they have to save to get $1 million? Well, the next question becomes, when do you want to access this $1 million for retirement? So let's say they're going to access it at age 55. So that's when they're going to retire. They're going to retire at 55. They're asking, can I retire at 55? And so we're going to look at this saying, we've got $0 right now. We need to save for the next 15 years. What does it take to get to $1 million? All right. So we've got 15 years. That's how long we're going to save for. We also want to know where we're going to put these dollars in order to save $1 million. Well, we're going to repurpose this money into the stock market. So we're going to invest in the stock market for these 15 years to get us to $1 million in retirement. And we're going to use a rate of return of 6%. Now that means all the money that we're investing is going to grow at 6%. Now the reason I'm using 6%, the stock market has averaged 10%. With inflation, it's actually 8% since about 1950. I'm going to back off by 2% to 6% to show you what it takes a little bit more conservatively to grow your money to $1 million. I'm also going to show you 4% and 8%. So I'll give you the best case scenario, kind of the worst case scenario, and I'll give you the middle case scenario when it comes to saving for retirement and growing your money to $1 million. So 6% is going to be our rate of return. 15 years is how long we're going to save for retirement. And remember, we're starting with $0. So we have to ask ourselves, how much do we need to get to that magical 7-figure $1 million in retirement? Well, let me pull out my handy dandy calculator because math don't lie when it comes to your retirement planning. So we want to get to $1 million. That's our future value, meaning that's how much money we want in retirement. So we want $1 million bucks. We're going to earn 6% a year. We're starting at 0. We're going to do this for 15 years. How much do we have to save? Well, at 6% for 15 years to get to $1 million, we've got to put in $3,438 per month, earning 6% to get $1 million over a 15-year time period. Now, if you're younger than 40, if you're 30 or 25 or 35, this is actually going to be less. Or if you're 45, 50, this is going to be more. You've got to understand, how much do I need to save now to get to the figure that's going to help me get to retirement, get through retirement, and protect your ability to stay in retirement. So 6% rate of return in the market, we need to be saving $3,438 per month for 15 years, and that gets us to $1 million. But what about 4% and 8%? So this is kind of our really conservative scenario, right? I'm going to say the worst case scenario is that over the next 15 years you earn 4%. And let's say we average exactly what the market gets. You invest in VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, and you get exactly what the market gets less the expense ratio for VOO, which I think is about 0.03. Really, really low. So 8% and 4%. So if we get 4%, we've got to save $4,063 per month. So the lesser rate of return, the lesser your money makes over time, the more you have to save monthly to get to $1 million. So if you're investing in the bank and your time horizon is short, you're not ever going to get to $1 million in retirement savings. Let's go to 8%. 8%, you need to be saving $2,889 over that 15-year period. So as you can see, the greater the rate of return, the less money that you need to be saving on a monthly basis. So let me give you a little tip. Here's what I do with my clients. If we're saving for retirement, we're trying to get to a retirement goal, and we're adding money on a monthly or semi-annual or quarterly or annual basis or whatever. We're saving for retirement. We're going to look at our numbers every year two different ways. We're going to look at our budget. We're going to see how much money we're saving versus spending to see if there's any excess that can be invested. And also, we're going to look at our rate of return. How are our investments performing? How is our 401k performing? How is our IRA performing in the market? And is that rate of return enough to get us to the retirement figure that we need to retire at whatever age we want? And then we adjust as necessary. So if our rate of return is higher and we're later in the game, we're getting closer to retirement, we might be able to say, hey, we don't have to invest as much this year because our rate of return has come down if you need to use that money for other things. Maybe you're doing home renovations because you're going to sell your home when you retire, or whatever. We just need to be looking at this on a quarterly and annual basis. And if you work with a financial advisor and you're not reviewing it on a quarterly or annual basis, there's something wrong. You need to be talking to him or her. Why are we not reviewing this? And if you've got a 401k or an IRA that you self-manage, it's something that you desperately want to look at every single year to make sure that you're saving enough for retirement so that you can get to your $1 million. Don't just be throwing a blind dart at it and hope that it's going to hit. You've got to have a plan. We call it a financial EKG. So that's how you save $4 million for 15 years if you're 40.